Imagine two people. We will call them Elias and Sarah. Both of them have the same dream. They want to transform their lives, learn a new language, and feel a sense of pride in their progress. Elias is a man of big ideas and massive bursts of energy. On a bright Monday morning, he decides that today is the day. He feels a surge of motivation, like a lightning bolt. He goes to the store and buys the most expensive professional running shoes. He visits a bookstore and walks out with 5 thick, heavy textbooks and a stack of colorful highlighters. On that first day, Elias is a machine. He locks himself in his room and studies for 4 intense hours. He memorizes 50 new words. Then, despite his legs feeling heavy, he pushes himself to run 10 miles. He finishes the day exhausted but smiling. He feels like a hero. He thinks, if I do this every day, I will be a master in no time. But Tuesday is different. Elias wakes up and his legs are screaming with pain. His brain feels foggy and tired from all the new grammar rules he tried to swallow at once. He looks at the thick textbooks and they feel like heavy stones. He tries to study, but he can only manage 30 minutes before his mind starts to wander. By Wednesday, it is raining outside. Elias looks at his expensive running shoes and sighs. I'm too tired, he says. I'll do double the work tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, and by the following Monday, the textbooks are gathering dust on the shelf. Elias has quit. He feels like a failure, and he tells himself that he just doesn't have the talent for change. Now look at Sarah. Sarah has the same dream, but she approaches it with a different spirit. She knows she is busy. She knows she gets tired. So on Monday, she does something that seems almost too small to matter. She opens her language app and studies for only 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes. Then she puts on her sneakers and goes for a short, pleasant walk around the block. It is easy. In fact, it is so easy that she feels like she could have done more, but she stops herself. She saves that energy for tomorrow. On Tuesday, Sarah is a little tired after a long day at work, but she thinks, it is only 15 minutes. I can definitely do that. So she does. On Wednesday, even though she has chores and errands, she finds 15 minutes before bed. She doesn't feel like a hero. She just feels like herself. Weeks go by. Months go by. Sarah never spends 4 hours studying in one day. She never runs 10 miles in a single afternoon. But here is the secret. She never misses a day. While Elias was waiting for the perfect moment of high energy, Sarah was simply showing up. 1 year later, Elias is exactly where he started, perhaps even a bit more discouraged. But Sarah can now hold a conversation in her new language. Sarah is healthy and strong. Sarah is a different person. This is the secret sauce of success. It is the magic of consistency. It is not about how hard you hit the ball once. It is about how many times you show up to the game. For the language learner, this is the only rule that truly determines your future. Why is this so hard for us? Why does our brain make us feel like Elias, pushing us to go too fast and then making us want to quit? You must understand that your brain is a beautiful, complex machine, but it is also a machine that is programmed to love comfort. Deep inside your mind is a part that wants to keep you safe and save your energy. In the ancient past, safe meant staying where things were familiar. Doing something new, like learning a language or exercising, requires a lot of mental energy. It is expensive for your brain. When you try to change everything at once, like Elias, your brain detects a massive change in your routine. It sounds an alarm. It treats that new habit like a threat to your comfort. It uses a powerful feeling we call resistance. Resistance is that heavy, sticky feeling in your chest when you think about opening your books. It is that soft, convincing voice in your head that says, "You've worked hard today. Let's just watch one more video. We can study tomorrow when we feel better." Many people believe the answer to this resistance is willpower. They think they just need to be stronger or more disciplined. But willpower is like the battery on your smartphone. In the morning, after a good sleep, the battery is full. You feel strong. But every time you make a decision during the day, what to wear, what to eat for lunch, how to handle a difficult email at work, the battery drains. By the time the evening comes, your willpower battery is at 5%. If you rely on that 5% to force yourself to do a difficult 2-hour study session, you will likely fail. Your brain will win, and you will stay on the couch. To succeed, we must stop fighting our brain with force. Instead, we must learn to dance with it. We must make our habits so small and so easy that the brain does not see them as a threat. We must lower the cost of starting until it is impossible to say no. How do we stop the brain from screaming danger every time we try to improve? We use the 2-minute rule. The rule is this: when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. It sounds too simple to be true, but it is the foundation of everything. If your goal is to study English for an hour every day, do not start with an hour. Start by reading just 1 page of a book. If you want to start a daily journal, start by writing just 1 sentence about your day. If you want to exercise, don't worry about the gym yet. Just put on your gym clothes and stand outside for 2 minutes. You might think, this is silly. Reading 1 page will not make me fluent. Standing outside in my gym clothes won't make me fit. But you are missing the most important part of the process. The goal is not to finish the task. The goal is to master the art of showing up. A habit must be established before it can be improved. You cannot improve a habit that doesn't exist. If you cannot master the basic skill of showing up for 2 minutes, you will never master the skill of working for 2 hours. By doing these tiny actions, you are slowly changing your identity. Every day you read 1 page, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. You are telling yourself, I am the type of person who reads. Every day you study for 2 minutes, you are saying, I am a learner. Once you have shown up for 7 days in a row, the hard part, the starting, is over. Usually, once you have picked up the book and read 1 page, you will find it easy to read 5 more. But on the days when you are exhausted, on the days when your willpower battery is at 1%, those 2 minutes are all you need to keep your identity alive and the fire burning. Instead, just get back on track as quickly as possible. Go back to your 2-minute version of the habit. The most important thing is to never let the chain break twice. Even if you can only do 30 seconds of your language practice while you are waiting for the bus, do it. It keeps the momentum alive in your mind. Consistency is like a muscle. If you don't use it for a day, it gets a little weak, but it recovers quickly. If you don't use it for 2 days or more, the muscle starts to atrophy. It starts to disappear. Always protect your rebound. Your ability to get back on track after a mistake is more important than being perfect. We often think we are the masters of our own choices. We believe we choose what to eat, when to work, and how to spend our time based on our desires. But the truth is, we are often victims of our environment. Imagine you walk into your kitchen to get a glass of water and you see a plate of fresh chocolate cookies sitting right on the counter. Even if you weren't hungry, you will probably eat a cookie. You didn't wake up with the goal of eating sugar, but the environment suggested it to you. We can use this psychological truth to make consistency effortless. If you want to build a good habit, you must make it obvious and you must make it easy. If you want to study English every morning, don't leave your book inside a drawer in another room. Put your textbook right on your pillow the night before. When you go to bed, you see it. When you wake up, you literally have to touch it to move it out of the way. It is right there, inviting you to start. If you want to listen to more English podcasts, make sure your headphones are already plugged into your phone and sitting next to your keys. By making the starting point of the habit visible, you remove the need for willpower. At the same time, if you want to stop a bad habit, you must make it invisible and hard. If you find yourself scrolling through social media for hours instead of learning, put your phone in a drawer in a different room while you study. If you want to stop eating unhealthy snacks, do not keep them in your house. Your environment should be like a map that leads you directly to your goals. You should not have to think about your habits. You should just stumble into them because they are the easiest thing to do in that moment. A well-designed room is more powerful than a strong mind. This is perhaps the most important lesson for anyone learning a difficult skill. It is the reason why so many people quit right before they were about to succeed. Imagine you are in a very cold room. It is 25 degrees. In the middle of the room, there is a large ice cube sitting on a table. You want to melt that ice cube, so you start to work. You turn up the heat. The room goes to 26 degrees. You look at the ice. Nothing has changed. The room goes to 27 degrees. Still, the ice cube sits there, solid and cold. 28, 29, 30, 31. You are working hard. You are paying for the heat. You are using your energy. But the ice cube looks exactly the same as it did when the room was 25 degrees. At this point, it is very common to feel frustrated. You might think, this isn't working. I've been heating this room for a long time, and I have nothing to show for it. I'm wasting my time. Then the room hits 32 degrees. Suddenly, a tiny drop of water appears on the side of the ice, then another. Then the whole thing starts to melt and slide across the table. Did the jump from 31 to 32 degrees do all the work? No. The melting was the result of all the degrees that came before it. It was the result of the latent potential that you were building up even when you couldn't see any results. In language learning, we call this the plateau of latent potential. You study every day. You listen to songs. You learn 5 new words every morning. But some days you feel like you aren't getting any better. You try to speak and you still make mistakes. You feel like you are still at 28 degrees. But you must trust the process. Every small action you take, every 2-minute session, every page you read, is raising the temperature of your mind. You cannot see the neurons connecting yet. You cannot see the knowledge growing under the surface, but it is happening. If you stop at 31 degrees, you will never see the breakthrough. But if you keep going, the melting point will come, and when it does, the progress will feel sudden and magical, even though it was built by months of quiet work. To keep going through the cold days, you need to help your brain feel good about the work. Your brain has a special chemical called dopamine. This is the reward and motivation chemical. When you achieve something, your brain releases a little bit of dopamine, and you feel a sense of pleasure. This feeling tells your brain, this was good. Let's do this again tomorrow. The problem is that most people wait for a big win to celebrate. They wait until they pass a big exam or until they can speak with a native speaker perfectly. But those big wins are far away. If you wait months for a reward, your brain will get bored and lose interest. You must learn to reward the process, not just the result. You need to give your brain a hit of dopamine every single day. One of the best ways to do this is with a simple habit tracker. Get a calendar and put it somewhere you can see it. Every day you do your 2-minute habit, put a big, bold red X on that day. Looking at that string of X's provides a small, immediate reward. It feels good to see the progress. You will start to feel a sense of pride in the chain you are building. Soon, your motivation won't come from the language itself, but from the desire to not break the chain. Also, treat yourself in small ways. If you study for 5 days in a row, allow yourself to listen to your favorite album or enjoy a special cup of tea. Tell yourself out loud, I did a great job today. You are not just learning a language, you are mastering the most important skill in the world. the ability to manage yourself. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Think about who you will be exactly 1 year from today. If you choose the path of Elias, starting with a huge explosion of energy and then quitting when things get hard, you will be exactly where you are standing right now. You will still have the same dreams, but they will feel further away, and you might feel even more tired of trying. But what if you choose the path of Sarah? What if you choose to be the person who just does 15 minutes today and 15 minutes tomorrow? In 1 year, those 15 minutes a day will add up to over 90 hours of focused learning. That is enough time to go from a total beginner to someone who can navigate a new country and make friends in a new tongue. But even more importantly, you will have built a brain that is stronger, more disciplined, and more flexible. You will be a person who follows through on their promises. You will have a deep sense of self-trust because you showed up for yourself 365 times. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be the smartest or the fastest student in the world. You just need to be the one who does not stop. Choose one tiny action today. Just one. Open that book. Write that one sentence. Do it right now. And then make a silent, sacred promise to your future self. I will show up and do it again tomorrow. I believe in your potential. I believe in your ability to change your life, not because of a big, loud explosion of effort, but because of the quiet, steady, and unstoppable power of simply showing up. You've got this. 1 step at a time. 1 day at a time. The heat is rising. Don't stop now. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who might need this exact message today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a step on your journey to growth. And now, I want to hear from you. What is that 1 2-minute action you are committing today? Is it reading 1 page, writing 1 sentence, putting on your shoes? Tell me in the comments below. By writing it down, you are making a promise to yourself. Thank you for watching. Keep showing up, and I will see you in the next video.